Again, according to TMZ, he calls his buddy in homicide, and he's looking for the case number of the Nicole Brown Simpson, Ron Goldman murders because he wants to engrave it and frame this knife in a glass case at his house. What is he going to do, have a cocktail party and say, hey, Daryl, come here, look at what I got, look at this knife. You know what that was used in, don't you? She says he's a good kid running with the wrong crowd. Listen, he hasn't been convicted of this crime again. Police say they found 32 weapons inside of his apartment. He has previous convictions for stealing a car and burglary. At some point, and this is where we get uncensored, it comes down to personal responsibility. He makes choices, you make choices to commit crimes, and these kind of stories just tick me off. You and me are here at work, working, earning a paycheck, and this guy, along with these 9 or 10 other people, are trying to rip people off and do it the wrong way. You know, back in the 80s, when I was a kid and I was bored, my mom would just say, go outside, find something to do. And I did. I found some friends, climbed a tree, played some tag, did something. These days, though, you know, parents feel that their kids are too plugged into their personal electronics and cell phones. He quickly got his horse, named Long John, out of the trailer, grabbed a rope, and rode off to save the day. The cowboy told the police, if his rope catches cattle pretty good, it can catch a bandit pretty good, too. That was my lame attempt at being a cowboy. That guy's cool. He probably does well with the ladies. Have you seen my lasso tricks? That's good. All right, Hillary Clinton takes on Bernie Sanders one last time before the Democratic National Convention. Since days like today working in the news business, it makes me so sad. It makes me, to be perfectly frank, pissed off at people, pissed off that there's so much violence, so many people hurting each other. It breaks my heart. That's the big question tonight. No word on what started this whole thing. I mean, this just blows my mind. Yeah. What could cause a mom to shoot her 2 children? The Fort Bend County Sheriff Troy Nails says we've been out to this house before. He couldn't say specifically why, but that's the big question, motive. We talked to members of the LGBT community here in Houston, and they said now is a time that we must stand together and show solidarity. You know, we can be afraid, but then the bad guys win, the terrorists win, and they're not going to let that happen. And Isaiah, it's scary to be in any crowd these days. You know, I'm looking all over social media. If you go to a shopping mall, you go to a movie theater, you never know when somebody's going to go crazy or when radical Islam is going to rear its ugly head and pull out an assault rifle and start shooting people. It boggles the mind how scary. It's a scary world that we live in right now, and I don't know what the answer is. For us to be more vigilant, you know, to stop being so politically correct, to start questioning things that seem off, people that seem off. We're so afraid to offend people. I think, you know, we got to be more aware. We got to have our eyes open. I don't got the answer, but it's scary. We got to come up with something to stop these mass shootings. Switching gears now, electronic wearables are more popular than ever before, from the Apple Watch to Fitbit. My daughters always ask me, I want a Fitbit. Like, you need to get off the couch and walk before you wear a Fitbit. There is more, though. Our consumer reporter, Emily Aiken. Did I hear that correctly? There's a device that lets you know how you slept. Don't you just feel that when you wake up in the morning, like, it's a good night's sleep, I'm feeling pretty good? Or you don't feel so good? How do you feel today, John? Sorry, I'm all fired up about this stuff.
I feel fantastic.
And I think it's a safe bet that the officers are not going to go into the water. That would be a dangerous situation for everyone involved. So they want to get this guy to come out, as opposed to one of them having to go down there, because you don't know what kind of shenanigans this guy might try to pull. He already put a lot of lives in danger, his own, everyone else driving on the road, and these police officers with the crazy way that he was driving. So police aren't going to trust anything that this guy has to say right now, so they need to try to resolve this thing.
Okay, let's lighten things up after that. John, you know there are simple pleasures in life, like blue skies.
You're right.
And John and I walked in today, and we saw new chairs. I know you can't see them. Oh, wait, there you can see it. Yeah, I'm just going to show you because they're just terrific. Look at these things. Look at how high-tech, and they're shiny on the bottom. But
you were wondering why Chris was doing such a good job.
The comfort level is remarkable. So it's simple pleasures. This story's going to make you mad. It made me mad, though we do want to hear your comments about this next story. Just say it on our Fox 26 Houston Facebook page. Here we go. A woman in Honolulu was punched in the face and then had her cell phone stolen while she was talking in the parking garage. Yikes, there it is. This happened in late May. The 55-year-old woman was talking on the phone when one of 2 suspects just goes up to her and hits her, punches her right in the face, got back in his car, and then gets back out again to take her phone. She doesn't want to give it up, so he ends up dragging her a little bit before ripping it out of her hands, if you can believe that. Those suspects still on the run tonight. The woman gets up. She's all dazed. She can barely stand up after getting clocked. You want to know what I think? Guy's can I say that? Spineless coward. Karma's a you-know-what, pal. All right. School rankings. Moving on. I get fired up about that kind of stuff. I don't like to see that. If you spend any time on social media, you will see it. I even posted my thoughts of being out at the scene yesterday, and you would be amazed. It would almost break your heart to see some people going on in this very sensitive time saying very crude things about the police. Today, the DA and the sheriff took a stand as they asked for information and the public's help. This is when they were pleading for information, somebody to come forward, give us more information. There are radical groups that have been calling for the deaths of police officers. I just listened to a video on YouTube before I came on here, and there are others like it where people were saying you need to kill a police officer. They were outright saying that, more specifically at times saying kill a white police officer. We need to stand united and do this so that the message will be made, whatever that message might be. Here's the DA and the sheriff and the message they're trying to send. Listen.
It is time for...
Right now we want to continue our team coverage. We have much more still ahead. A vigil, we understand, will be held at that Chevron gas station over on West Road in northwest Harris County, where Deputy Goforth was shot to death. That starts at 7 o'clock tonight. He was a 10-year veteran of the Harris County Sheriff's Office, a married father of 2 young children. It broke my heart when I saw their pictures. 12 years old, his daughter, 5 years old, his son, and they got the news that their father will never be coming home. Fox 26's Dominique Keith has more tonight on how people are remembering the deputy.